up on Twitter. Scroll down. The hardest thing I've ever written. What is the date on that? June 18th, 2020. We'll take a read. This was written June 18th, 2020, during this speaking out movement that's called Matt Riddle in a lot of trouble, Velveteen Dream fired, and many others. It's been really hard to formulate this. I've always been afraid because people wouldn't believe me or say, oh, that's not that bad. She was right. There have been many AEW fans who have gotten underneath her comments, and we will give those people what they want. They will be seen here on YouTube for the assholes that they are, for the vile, disgusting human beings that they are. I just want people to know, if you support this wrestling, this is what you're supporting: the abuse of victims of the R word. Thinking of it makes me relive so many bad things. Between 2016 and 17, I had an on again, off again with another wrestler. He ruined her mental health on a lot of things she's still struggling with. He talked about her family as if they were every problem she had in life. He got upset and screamed and yelled and treated her like his personal punching bag. While she does go on to state, he never laid a hand on me, just mental. It got to the point where she was so disassociated and was walking on eggshells. She didn't say much because if she didn't reply how Darby Allin, a mud show assaulter, wanted her to, he'd get upset and he would scream at her. He told her if she didn't do things he wanted, he was going to leave her. She lived in constant fear that if one bad thing, don't listen to one thing, don't do everything that hate someone asks of me. He threatened to leave her if she didn't have sex with him or do sexual things and perform sexual acts with him. I'll say that again. He also threatened to leave if she didn't have sex with him or do sexual things and perform sexual acts with him. Took her a long time to realize that threatening someone to have sex with you isn't consent, it's rape. Those are her words, YouTube. Do not strike my channel. So let's look up the definition of rape. So here's the important sentence here. There is a definition that was updated in 2012. States, this definition also includes instances in which the victim is unable to give consent because of temporary or permanent mental or physical incapacity. Let's go back. She states, and I quote, He would also threaten to leave me if I didn't have sex with him or do sexual things and perform sexual acts with him. It took me a long time to realize that threatening someone to have sex with you isn't consent. It's rape. She struggled with this to this day and have so many fears around sex and intimacy. At this time, in June 18th of 2020, Holly Cromwell stated, "I will not be naming any names because I don't feel comfortable doing so. I just want to show that this never broke me and that I am stronger for going through something I shouldn't have had to. And we're glad that you spoke out, Ms. Cromwell. We want you to know that there are men, especially men who do not prescribe to the all-elite whiteness of AEW, that are glad that you took the stance to speak out. These are just some posts that she has on her Twitter. It's good to see she's in good spirits, especially considering what we're going to read, what were a lot of the responses to this young woman's allegations and accusations that she was physically harmed and mentally abused. So a year ago, she stated these claims. I want to go to the first tweet she sent out before reading the next ones. She stated, "Woke up instantly, saw something that made my blood boil. Gonna go back to bed, then address it when I wake back up with a level head." This was hours before she would send out the tweets that again would shock the wrestling world at 3:55 a.m. A little bit later, after waking up, what we can only say from that nap, at 8:56 a.m., Holly once again addressed the R-word that had happened to her. She wrote, and I quote YouTube, "I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired and I don't care anymore. Darby Allin abused me." He abused me, and I'm tired of being called a liar by fans who have no idea the shitty person he really is. Somehow no one remembers. I'll never forget how you treated me like shit. She went on to share the post that we just read from June 18th, 2020. That wasn't it. Also, for everyone saying his ex said he changed, his are attacking me, saying my rape is invalid because it didn't happen like hers, and completely disregarding the fact I was under his thumb and stuck with abuse. We'll go back to this definition of rape brought to us by the United States Department of Justice, updated January 6, 2012. Isn't that just ironic, January 6th? Because that's what the AEW fans are, a bunch of January 6ers. I'll read the entire little quick paragraph. I won't read it all. For the first time ever, the new definition includes any gender of victim and perpetrator, not just women being raped by men. Also recognizes that rape with an object can be traumatic as penile and vaginal rape. This definition also includes instances in which the victim is unable to give consent because of temporary or permanent mental or physical incapacity. Furthermore, because many rapes are facilitated by drugs or alcohol, the new definition recognizes that a victim can be incapacitated and thus unable to consent because of ingestion with drugs or alcohol. Do you think this guy does drugs and alcohol? I mean, honestly, look at him. Do you think that he had ever given her drugs or alcohol and participated in assaulting her? I do. Darby Allin, a must show assaulter.